All right, everybody, welcome back to the Campagnolo GFNY World Championships. I'm Gabe Lloyd. This is Dan Schmaltz, and we are joined here today by Victor.
Yeah, hi.
How are you, Victor?
Good, good. Glad it's over.
This is my teammate Victor that I was talking about. This is the guy who I wanted to win today, but you know, if it couldn't have been Victor, I'm glad that it's Mike today. And I told people that I was going to turn over a police car and set it on fire, so Fort Lee is safe today, Victor. So you don't have to have that on your conscience.
Nevertheless, Victor, walk us through a little bit of what happened out there today. It sounded like it was pretty dynamic right from the gun.
Yeah, actually, pretty good, steady pace up on a river road. Nothing crazy. Went up Alpine Hill, everyone together, and then there was a bunch of attacks, which is a little bit different than last year, because last year Bill and another guy just took off and he was very controlled on 9W. Today, a bunch of attacks, Weather Channel attacked, a bunch of other guys attacked, and then a break of 5, a group of 5 got away. Including Weather Channel. At first I thought it was Mike Marguerite.
It was Conrad.
It was Conrad, exactly,
yes.
with Ralph from the Foundation, another New York City team.
Yep.
They got away, and then I saw that all the main guys, the guy that won from last year, Mike, were kind of in the main group.
Who did you have back with you from the team at that point, Victor? Was there anyone there chasing?
We're pretty scattered.
Yeah.
We had 10 or 11 guys from the team in the race.
Wow.
But just the group was so big that it was just hard finding your people.
Right.
It was just a matter of keeping steady. All the climbs we would lose a little bit of people. I drank a lot at the bridge right before the start, so I had to go to the bathroom. So right when you have a straw, and you kind of right by the river and right where there's all these different ports.
Yeah.
I had to basically go in the very back of the peloton. I can't pedal and pee at the same time, so I had to literally slow down, basically come to a complete stop. I had to do what I got to do, and then 2 of my teammates, Paul Yeats and Chris Shaw, brought me back to the group, back to 9W.
Nice work, Paul.
That's a very pro moment right there for Paul Yates.
It felt very pro, yeah.
So pro.
So pro.
So when they were away, who was chasing from the group?
No one really. It was just steady pace.
Yeah. Okay.
Steady pace all along. I knew that Ralph, once I figured out that Mike and all the top guys were in the group, I knew that break wasn't really dangerous.
Okay.
So we kept it steady, and then exactly like last year, right before the big climb, right before Bear Mountain, is when things really started attacking, and that pro guy with the long hair and the beard,
Dan Craven,
he made a big move. People started chasing. It started being single file. I put myself in a really good position on the downhill after that climb, going into Bear, because I know you want to be in a good position right before Bear, and it turned out it was the right decision, because as soon as we crossed the line into 9W, started going up Bear, bam, there was a crash. The peloton was probably super excited, a lot of nerves, and it probably set a few people back. And then it basically started being steady, a bunch of attacks. Last year we had kind of a natural selection up on Bear Mountain, where he ended up being 12 of us. Today it was just attacks after attacks after attacks.
Wow.
Pichetti, the guy that won last year, kept attacking at the climb. And then I want to say 3/4 of the way up the climb is when we started seeing the guys from the break.
Right.
So Pichetti made a big attack. The guy from the Israeli team went. I was third. We bridged to the break, and then he attacked again. So these 2 guys, Pichetti and the guy from Israeli, crested over the top, almost like there was a KOM or something. It was very strange. He sprinted to the top. I was third. I kind of made a big effort to get back to them on the downhill, and then I kept going sprinting on the downhill to figure out. I made a big effort up the climb.
How was the descent? Was that like a little scary out there?
I took some risks. It was wet.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable, I changed my brake pads last week. I felt pretty comfortable with my turning and my skills. I'm on the downhill. I know the course really well, so that helps a lot. Knowing the turns, I was getting all my teammates cheering for me as they were going up. I was going down.
Right.
That was a big boost. And basically, same as last year, we hit the bar on the climb, and it all comes back together.
Sure. Right.
So we're probably 20 of us. Then again, goes hard. Another attacks. It was basically constant attacks.
Yeah.
To the point where I was making big efforts to try to bridge every time.
So would you say that the second half of the race or the first half of the race were more decisive for the outcome?
It was after Bear.
After Bear.
Yeah,
so the second half of the race became really decisive. And from what we saw here today, it became a really small group, like you're talking about. But then there were a few riders that were really doing a lot of work early. Can you talk us through what was happening there?
I don't know which guy was it, but a big white guy with a black bibs and a BMC bike. he was making some big moves, just trying to kind of string it down because a group of 15 is too big.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna have some stragglers that do no work, and you want to kind of skim it down a little bit to a group of 4 or 5 that actually are gonna do the work and get away. So there are a bunch of attacks on those really back hills, which are really hard. That second half, you completely underestimate that piece, that part of the course. And he ended up, I was getting in most of the right moves until the big white guy on the BNC bike made a move. Pichetti went, Marguerite went, and that was the decisive move.
Yeah,
where 5 of them got away.
Jürgen Moriels, he was a Belgian guy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he was
He made
super
the front
strong.
5. Yeah.
He was super strong.
He won the Jerusalem edition of this race.
Did he really?
Yeah.
So once they got away, we had a group of like 5 of us,
Yep.
and I really thought there was a chance we could catch them. And we had maintained kind of like a 100 meters gap, and then just slowly pulled away. And this happened after the really hard steep climb on the residential area.
Yes.
Whatever that climb is called.
That's a
when,
beast. I think that's cheese code.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
cheese code.
Yeah.
That's when it happened, and then basically it was a group of 5, and I was like, maybe there is a chance we catch a bunch of stragglers that are gonna die and just pop out.
Yeah.
Because it was getting really hot and humid.
Yeah.
There was no aid stations for about 30 miles.
Right.
So if a bunch of the guys in the group didn't have water, I had to give them some water. I wanted to kind of work together as a team. I was like, we might as well, we'll be better off working together.
Yeah.
So we just paced line it. My stomach got really tweaked up because of the humidity. It was really hot. We haven't had this kind of weather in New York all year, basically. And we just paced line it, figuring hopefully maybe we can catch them. It didn't happen.
So weather became a factor in this race today then.
Huge. The last 40 miles, you basically all want to go home. Once the break was made, I was like, I just want to be home. Get me home. Let's work together. I'm dying. My stomach's upset. I don't want to eat more gels.
Yeah.
I'm low on water. We don't have the pace car. The guys from the moto giving out cars. So like
So
the
no
guy.
more water from them, right?
Yeah, Mike got a bottle. I mean, it was totally fair. No hard feelings there, and all good for him for asking. But yeah, like we're kind of like a little bit. We got less attention. Obviously,
You're not
that's
at
what
the front of
happens.
the race. You're
Right.
lost, right?
You're lost. Actually, another thing that happened is one of the big turns right before the aid station with about 25 miles to go, I want to say.
Yeah.
The police people signaling us instead of going left told us to go straight, so we made the wrong turn, and then they stopped us like 15 seconds later, like, oh guys, you have to turn back.
Was this after the break went?
Yeah, well, way after the break.
Yeah, okay.
But like I was dying for water at this point, and they gave us the wrong direction. One guy with a group of 5 of us, he basically gave up at that point. So it ended up being 4. We all worked together, and then same thing as last year. Once you're on River Road, people just don't want to work anymore.
Yeah,
because
it's so
like,
late.
Is
It's
that
not
what
done at
happened
that
in the
point.
front group?
They were all together throughout River Road. They went down the descent on Ranger Station until they got up to Dykeman, Forbidden Hill. They were all together, but they were watching each other. They would go to the front and do sort of feints of attacks.
Yeah.
But everybody was so aware of each other that they kept the tight pack.
And those guys are so experienced up front.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when you come to the ending, if you don't know that the finish is right beyond that,
that's exactly
you
what
can't see it.
You don't know it. There's no signaling saying 500 meters to go, 200 meters to go. You cannot make that turn, and then you see the finish line just pops up.
Yeah.
So last year I made the wrong move by going too early, but yeah, it's all good. It was just a hard race. The humidity was just really hard. I'm super happy Mike won. That was awesome.
Yeah.
He was so tactical, and a lot of these moves, when everyone was kind of watching each other, he was patient.
Yeah.
He wasn't covering the moves right away. He was letting people do the work.
I saw when Will Downing did a couple attacks when you guys were off of Bear Mountain. It would be him, and then it would be, I think it was the big Belgian guy would go up to him.
Exactly.
And then those 3 would get together, and then all the impetus went out of the break, and then it would come back.
Yeah.
And then it was just a matter of who was going to attack and who was going to keep a gap at that
It was
point.
a matter of making the hard effort in the right move, and I kind of messed up. It's just all experience. Like it was just hard. It's just all really hard when it's just so much attacking, because you have to really know and kind of get a really good read for the race in terms of calculated effort. When am I gonna make that effort to go on that break?
Do you find that the race dynamics and efforts here are different from other races that you do here in America?
It's a kind of race of attrition.
Yeah.
Which in a lot of kind of USA cycling races that you'll do is just a really hard move from the get-go. If you get in that first break at the start of the race, then it's kind of chill. This race is just non-stop, just hard.
Right. And you raced yesterday morning, right?
Yeah, I did.
That was a 48-mile race?
Yeah, club race. It was a points race with a guy from our team in the break, so it wasn't super hard for me. I just made 2 big efforts. So like, no excuses there. Just
And how did you finish yesterday? Were you second?
I ended up collecting points to be third.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 days in a row, waking up at 6 a.m. and racing. Was Mike there yesterday?
Mike took it off. That was probably a good move. He stayed indoors, did some kind of openers on the indoors to kind of prep for this.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That could have been.
It's a perfect type of race for him. Just super hard, calculated effort.
Yeah.
And those pros were just drilling it.
Okay, we just found out that Camilla has won again. So we have how many times has she won this? Camilla Cortez, six-time
winner now.
That's amazing.
GFNY. Out of 8 years, Camilla Cortez has won 6 of our editions here.
6 out of 8. That's like Lady Merck's territory right there. That's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
That's
tremendous
exceptional.
effort there. So
we're hoping to talk to her later. So once everybody gets out of doping control, we'll be able to talk to them. I would imagine they're a little dehydrated right now, so that could take a while.
Absolutely.
So
well, cool, Victor. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us here, man. We really appreciate your times. We're gonna get you some water and some food and get your feet up.
Yep.
Go to the after party here. Enjoy some of our Edward wines.
Yeah. Hit a glass of wine, Victor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Gabe Lloyd. That's Dan Schmaltz.
I'm Dan Schmaltz.
Victor, say your name for the world.
Victor Grass from Rockstar Games.
There we go. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.